Latino migrants crossing the Rio Grande, dividing Mexico from the U.S., is a common sight. But what is less common is Chinese migrants making the same dangerous attempt. This woman says it took her a month to get here. The number of Chinese migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border has increased sharply. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, nearly 10,000 crossed on foot from October to April, compared with just over 2,000 who crossed in fiscal year 2022. This man goes by only his surname, Jin, for fear of retaliation against his family in China. Back home, he worked construction and struggled financially.
It's really hard to survive in China.
He traveled for 42 days through South America to the U.S.
This trip is really tough. Everyone's feet got lots of blisters, emotionally and physically. It's all very, very tiring.
Many Chinese migrants take similar routes, flying from China to Turkey and then to Ecuador because of its relatively loose visa policy. From there, they travel by foot and bus through South and Central America to the U.S.-Mexico border, some paying a guide or asking for directions along the way. In response to VOA's request for comment, the Chinese embassy wrote, "The Chinese government has always opposed illegal immigration and adopted various measures to stop illegal exits." This video shot by VOA Mandarin went viral on Chinese social media, prompting the former editor-in-chief of China's state-run Global Times to respond on Chinese social media Weibo. He wrote,
Shalom, I'd like to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to you sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right, what they say, Zhao Ziyan, running the route. And as you can see, that's a known route that they can take. All right, from China to Turkey to Ecuador, and then, walking or taking a bus or taking a plane, or however they have, whatever method they had to get up here. All right, and you got a lot of people up here, man. You got a lot of people. Brothers in the camps, stay on guard. Of course, man, remain circumspect at all times. Right? Even though we already understand that the Lord is with us, you have a lot of people here from other places, and just, this place has become, like the scriptures say, they heap unto them all people. All right, well, this is the time where they really have ramped that up. Everybody's coming in. All right, and giving you a clue, right? This is the land of unwalled villages. All right, this isn't like the ancient world where, you have to enter into the gate, right? And then they inquire who you are, what your business is, and then they, decide to let you in. And then they close the gate behind you. No, this is different, man. This place is just unwalled. And I had a couple of scriptures, because the scriptures talk about that, because people really don't understand. They have no idea, what's about to happen next. Like, I went to it's a Korean store up here, Korean food store, and stopped in there, and I noticed they had a lot of ginseng. Ginseng was cheap, right? Because the Koreans come up here, and then they move up to Wisconsin, which is right next door where I'm at, Chi-Town, Illinois. And they got a lot of ginseng farms, right? So they got, ginseng and honey, and they grow a bunch of different stuff, and then, they grow it for cheap. Ginseng used to be, pretty expensive, but now, you go into their stores, it's relatively cheap. All right, and this is what happens when, Esau, they just let any old heathens in, as long as they pay the money, they tax, they have that little section amongst, Koreans and Chinese. They really ain't that cool, but they will, they'll pick one of them to be cool with over us. All right, that's with every nation. Filipinos, they deal with Filipinos. All right, the Japanese, they deal with Japanese. The Ukrainians, they stick with Ukrainians. Polacks stick with Polacks. But when we come into the picture, they'll all team up and they'll all stick together. All right, but Jake meanwhile is divided, and that's the definition of insanity. All right, this is Ezekiel 38:11, and that's why the Lord has to get rid of 2/3 of the nation of Israel, because they don't want to come and be unified and be one body and be one mind under Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Right? Everybody wants to go onto their own way, their own mind, their own, this, which your shit don't work. Right? It's been shown, it's been proven. All right, no matter what you have behind it, how many people follow you, how many guns you got, following after your own way, it just doesn't work. But back to the topic, Ezekiel 38:11, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. Right? A bar, a gate. You at the house, in this kingdom, and Esau could kick the door in. They get the battering ram, boom. You don't have no walls, no gates, no bars. Like it says, Deuteronomy 6:9. Right? And thou shalt write them, 6 and, let's start at 6. And in these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house, and on thy gates. When you look up post, it's going to say gate post, door post. Right? Most houses don't have gates, though. You can just walk up, you knock a window out, jump right in. Right? In the ancient world, that was not so. Unless you were in an unwalled village, in a smaller place. All right, that's why it was such a big deal when we were rebuilding, our temple and rebuilding the walls, and the heathens like, hey man, we want to build with you, and we were like, hell no, all right, because y'all might, they might try to build a weak spot in our wall. They might try to, put a flaw in there. All right, that's why I say every man built with that sword in his hand. All right, and then once we get built up, they get pissed off because they know, like, oh no, they ain't easy prey no more. You have an army. If we have a gate and a wall, of course, now you can't enter in so easily. You have to fight a different battle. You have to have your troops in our territory, outside our gate. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to try to find food and water and all these other resources. If it's a war of attrition, then you have to be stocked up. All right, the Lord has to be with you. Let's see, I'm going to get a couple of scriptures to back up and show you, this place, man, it's about to be on fire. You got 2024 came in with a bang. You got apparitions and talking about chariots, and you got all this different truth coming out. All right, Hollywood is in shambles. They can't make it hit. All right, they gotta use biblical subjects to gain attention. This is I'm going to get right to the point. Deuteronomy 3 and 4. It started 3. So the Lord our power delivered into our hands Og also, the king of Bashan, and all his people, and we smote him until none was left to him remaining. And we took all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we took not from thee. 80 cities, all the region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these cities were fenced with high walls, gates, and bars, beside unwalled towns a great many. So, those were easy to spoil. All right, a great many. But, the cities were fenced, a high wall, a gate, and bars. It's talking about that big-ass bar that's on the door, so you can't just get in. You need that battering ram, or you need some way, or you burn down the door, however you get in. And we utterly destroyed them, as we did unto Sihon, king of Heshbon, utterly destroying the men, women, and children of every city. And just had some examples, like you look at these. These are examples of what that would look like. Imagine, you and your army, you trying to get it to the city. They got arches up here. Like I believe with Uriah, it said he was hit by an arrow. You trying to fight this shit, somebody shooting over, from a high wall. They got a vantage point on you. You know what I'm saying? But you can't necessarily hit them. And this is how you know how raw Israel was, man. Because we were going through and we were sieging these places, man. We were taking them down. All right. Let's see the Hunted Old City Gate. Wall City. And it show you how raw Samson is. This is Judges 16 and 2. And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson has come hither. And they compassed him in and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all night, saying, in the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city, and the 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up. Man, it took the doors of the city, of the gate of the city, and the 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of a hill that is before Hebron. Can you imagine that? Now look at these big ass gates. These gates are made back to keep out armies. Basically it's a choke point. All right, when you go through America, which I drove trucks or whatever, so I've been everywhere. This place is made for commerce. Giant open roads, which they got from the Germans. Those giant roads. All right, so basically, when they need to move military forces, they can do so. All right, but this place is made for commerce. You go up and down the roads of America, you got all you're gonna see is trucks. Some guy sitting behind the wheel of a truck for 10 hours, getting paid, peanuts. In the ancient world, when you came into market, you came in with somebody else's wares or your own wares, and then you could set the price. All right, and that's how you made your money. So imagine people here by the gate, selling stuff. The story of Nehemiah comes to mind, where he told them, they tried to sell stuff during the Sabbath. He told them, man, move from around here before I smite you. All right, then you had different gates. Nehemiah 3 and 3, the fish gate talks about that. That's the gate that they brought in fish. Certain gates were assigned certain things. The dung gate. All right, repair Milkiah. I mean, plain, the Valley Gate. Right? So you would have different gates of different sizes. Was it verse 6? More of the old gate repaired Jehoiada the son of Paziah, and Meshulam the son of Bosueda. They laid the beams thereof, and set up the doors thereof, and the locks thereof, and the bars thereof. So, you know, you had different gates. Then the scripture talk about the eye of the needle. You know, that's a small ass gate too. You know, basically the camel has to crouch down. Let's see, the water gate. So, you know, my guess would be to get through that gate, you have to come with certain wares, certain things. See, from above the horse gate. But you get the sheep, you know, see the corner of the sheep gate. So probably a gate big enough for sheep to get through. All right, but the point being, this place don't have no gates. It's unwalled. All right. Hey, Isaiah 45:1. Thus saith the Lord to his anointed, to Cyrus, whose right hand I have holden, to subdue nations before him, and I will loose the loins of kings, to open before him the two-leaved gates, and the gates shall not be shut. I will go before thee and make the crooked places straight. I will break in pieces the gates of brass. So they had brass gates, and cut in sunder the bars of iron. All right, all that shit is going to get destroyed. It's just like this place. You know, you could just drive right into the city. They got a couple of state troopers along the way. But, you know, like I said, all these different people activate military forces or whatever, they're going to have their hands completely full. All right, it's too many people here who had a chance to set up shop. All right, a lot of these people are going to flee back to their own country, but many of them are not, because they're not welcome back in their own country. All right, like in that first video, they were showing the Chinese, a lot of them aren't welcome back in China. All right, or they can't, you know, or, you know, they risk, they're bringing dishonor to their family name or whatever weird, you know, social construct they have. All right, this shit about to go down. And this place is likened unto Jericho. All right, because all we doing, you know what I'm saying? We putting the vibration out. And you can see that vibration is vibrating. All right, the word of the Lord is bringing this place down, man. That's why they pissed off. That's why they want to stop what we're saying. They want to try to infiltrate it. They want to try to take this word and use it to, pay people off, to twist it and warp it and take the name away. All right, this word is really bringing this place down. This is Joshua 6:2, and the Lord said unto Joshua, see, I have given into thy hand Jericho and the king thereof, and the mighty men of valor. So he had some mighty men. All right, this place, they got, some of these soldiers, these Edomites, these, Marines, they do jujitsu, they do combat training, whatever the fuck. It's not going to matter. All right, the Lord going to give you into our hands. And we train too. And ye shall compass the city, all ye men of war, and go round about the city once. Thus shalt thou do 6 days. And 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of ram's horns. And the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when they hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up, every man straight before him. So the wall is actually going to fall, which is a miracle. You're going to make that big stone wall. Boom. And it happened. All right. It's likened unto this place, man. This place has been built up. You got all these steel buildings and towers and, wonderful works, that they celebrate. Oh my God, this tower, this is one of the tallest buildings in the world. It's a engineering marvel, blah, blah. All that shit is going to burn. All right. This word is going to be found as the truth, and our enemies are going to be found liars. No matter how creative they are, crafty, wicked, all that shit for naught. All right, this is us, man, blowing this trumpet. Hey, and Tawadi Yahabashim Awashah for the inspiration. Lord willing, this is edifying. The Lord is about to continue to turn up in the year of Jacob's trouble. May this be, hopefully our last year. Call Allah Yumla Yahawah Bashim Awashai Bashim Kakadash. And Shalom.